Buzz's Retirement Garage. Volunteering in retirement. Should you, shouldn't you, do you, don't you? When I retired, oh, it seems so long ago, but actually it wasn't. September 2023, the first thing I wanted to do was nothing. And I have done a really good job of that. Most of you, a lot of you who subscribe to me know my whole situation if you've been following my videos, but one of the things that I don't agree with, and I know I'm probably going against the grain, I didn't retire with a purpose in mind. And if I did retire with a purpose in mind, the purpose was to do absolutely nothing. To de-stress from 47 years of hustling, bustling, raising family, working overtime, driving, just the whole, as you guys know, the whole kit and caboodle, as they would say, that has to deal with life. And I wanted to do nothing but de-stress. I didn't plan on doing this or going on vacation, or I had no plans, absolutely zero plans. Because the most important thing to me was to de-stress and get all of that out of my body. It is not good for you. It is a silent killer in my opinion. And I can tell you for a fact, I remember nights going to bed where if I couldn't sleep, and I would have to actually start at the top of my body and work my way down as I laid there in bed and just said, okay, now relax your chest, relax your arms, relax your fingers. And by thinking that way, I was able to realize that I could take out some of the stress from my body before I went to sleep. And that's how wound up I was at the end of the day. Now, did I feel that during the day? Probably not. But at night, when I did my little mental exercise of trying to de-stress, I felt it. And I knew that I was carrying this stress inside of me. So, come retirement, I live near Cleveland Hopkins. I'll say this in every video. For some reason, they're running this runway only when I do videos. It's like they watch me. You know, I got somebody at a tower somewhere watching. All right, Buzz is doing a video. Let's send the planes. But yeah, de-stressing was the most important thing to me. So I didn't want to plan on a vacation. I didn't want to plan on anything. Anything. And like I said, I was successful at it. Now, last year was my first summer off, and I don't know how long. I say 45, 47 years since I was working, and always had some type of part-time job or full-time job. So last summer I just enjoyed doing nothing. I mean, I worked on, getting a barn erected. I did a cement pad. I did all these odds and ends around the house that needed to be done that I just sort of didn't do, or I did them not as well as they should have been. And that was fun because I was able to take my time, and I'm still taking my time on things. But now, September, the end of September will be 2 full years of retirement. I am now comfortable in my own skin, as they say. And I think I want to branch out a little bit. I talked about going back to work in the winter. And, I still feel that way because of the winters in Cleveland, Ohio. The last winter was rough. I mean, I'm an outdoor guy, and yes, I can go out. I don't mind the cold. I don't mind the snow. But the older you get, you don't want to be tracking around on ice and stuff like that. You break a hip and you're out for a couple months. I mean, it's not what I want to do. I don't want to take those chances. And so hiking and doing all that stuff is kind of out of the question in the wintertime. So I may go back to work part-time just to fill my time. So then I thought, okay, and the title of the video, about volunteering. Maybe it's time now to get myself to where, okay, I have to be somewhere, 1 day a week or whatever it is. Let's start out with that. Let's just branch out a little bit and see how comfortable I am with that. So I did volunteer at the local dog shelter. I've had my 2 training sessions where they shadow you to make sure you can walk and talk and do all the right things. And then I had one session where I was able to walk the dogs by myself. You know, it's about a mile walk if you take them the whole route. And and I learned, you know, how to clean and how to do laundry, because yeah, you have to do laundry too. They house dogs and cats. I haven't been in the cat side. We have enough cats here that I don't need to see any more cats. But and you know and plus, I've had a dog for 13 years that passed away. Then we had another dog that we got from it's called Save Ohio Strays out in near Akron, out in Wadsworth, and we got that dog, and he lasted, I should say, he lasted about 13, 14 years. So I'm in between dogs. Now, do I want one? I'm 65. Do I really want a dog now, you know, that could outlive me? And, you know, if I pass first, which I figure I will, Mrs. Buzz would be saddled with not only losing me, but having to take care of this dog and all this stuff. So there's so many things to think about. So I thought, well, maybe I won't get one. Because then if we travel somewhere, you know, you have to have somebody come by the house. And they'll have to anyway because of the cats. So yeah, there's some good reasons to get one. It could be a partner to ride around with me when I go down to the park or go fishing. And I thought, well, you know what? Volunteering at the dog shelter kind of takes care of a lot of, you know, I get to go. It's like being a grandfather. You get to go to the house with the grandkids, and then you get to walk away and go home, and they don't come with you. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Now, I'm not opposed to getting the right dog at the right time. But at least with this weight, there's no pressure. The only pressure I have right now is I have to be somewhere every week. Now that's a change. You know, almost 2 years of not having to, you know, maybe a doctor's appointment or some dentist appointment or something like that in the afternoon, big deal. But now this is a weekly occurrence. Okay, so this is now for the first time since retirement, I have to be somewhere. Yeah, I can call off, but I've never done that during work, and I won't do that now. I'll rain, snow, sleet, or whatever, or heat. Heat's just going to heat up now. Here in the Midwest, we're heating up in the north. So, you know, this is working out. Now, you can see this picture of me back here. I actually took a volunteer shift where somebody was asking for some help because there was a lot of call-offs, and that's normal. People get, you know, get caught up in different things and they can't make it. So they, you know, one shift will become understaffed because there's a lot of shifts. I mean, that's a 7-day-a-week thing. There's a lot of shifts. They usually last between 1.5 and 3 hours, depending on the day and the shift. My shift on Monday is 2 hours. So there was a Friday shift yesterday that I took, and it was an 1.5-hour shift. So I thought I'd help because they needed some help, some walkers. So I, you know, wanted to help them out. And I wasn't doing much anyway. So, you know, it's been raining and it's just not a great time around here, you know, except for weed picking. And I'd rather walk dogs than pick weeds. So, so anyway, this was my first time with a puppy. So they have puppies that can only go into the pens. You can't take them on walks because they're half crazy, right? If you have a puppy or had one, you know they're half crazy. So you have to go into the little pen. But this is Colton, and Colton's only about 5 months old. Really sweet dog. And I mean, I'm sure he'll get adopted very soon. And on my third walk, so I've been on 4 now. That's it. I'm new to this. But on my third walk, I walked 4 dogs. 3 of them within the next few days were adopted. So, and I thought they would be there like, you know, a long time, but the turnover is quick. So far that I've seen, the turnover is pretty quick. And that's a good thing. So this is a no-kill shelter. The dogs will stay there as, you know, as long as they have to until they get adopted. So it's a really nice thing to do. I'm comfortable with it. But when you first retire, my advice to you is not to jump on everything and, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to volunteer here and I'm going to get a job there and I'm going to take a vacation here. You can, but sit back, and I always say in the comments, let retirement come to you. In other words, don't force anything. Just go day by day. You create the plan, you execute the plan. You don't let anybody create the plan for you. So, going back to work would be a big deal for me, because I don't know about that commitment, because that's a whole nother level than volunteering at an animal shelter. A whole nother level. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But so volunteering, I think, give yourself some time, and I think it's a cool thing to do. And I also just got a brochure, which was kind of interesting, because I started at the dog kennel, and then I get this brochure for Meals on Wheels. And they're looking for volunteers. Well, their piece of paper says they're always looking for volunteers. So I thought, if I wanted to do more at the dog shelter, I could. If I wanted to try Meals on Wheels and help the elderly, I could do that too. I mean, if you're taking care of animals and you're taking care of the elderly, that's two good things, right? So we'll see how it goes, but that's my perspective on volunteering. Give me your comments as to what you think or how you worked it out. If you're not retired yet, what are you planning? Do you have to have that, oh, I got to retire to this? Do you have to have that purpose? Or are you fine just doing like I did, just de-stress and lay back? And if you have retired, have you taken a volunteer job? Have you taken another job? I know a couple guys, they're working at Lowe's. Some people are still working from home part-time. Some people are going into the office that they left, but they're just working part-time. And that's going to work for them. And it's no pressure. And that's the great thing about it. They can leave when they need to, but in the meantime, they're just getting into retirement slowly, which is good too. So everybody's going to be different at how they handle things. But I'd be interested in your perspective. So, Buzz's Retirement Garage, we will talk to you again. Here's what my shirt says, by the way. Because the walleye are hitting now. They're catching a walleye out of Lake Erie. Hand over fist. So I need to get out there too. See you later.